Okay.
All right, so you swam at the 2005 World University Games where you won gold in the 50 free, correct?
Correct.
All right, so what do you remember most about your World University Games experience?
Um, I think it was really one of my. I mean, I'd gone out internationally to swim to like Canada, but like my first time representing Team USA and doing it internationally. So I was nervous. I was only there for the 50 freestyle, which was the last day. So I got to watch all of my teammates swim. And I was like a caged lion at that point because, I was just ready to go and kind of show what I've got. And so I remember swimming the prelims and just like blowing it out of the water. And they're like, "Whoa, kid, like, dang, maybe we should have put you on the relays." Like, cause I was just so pumped and hyped to be on Team USA and to live that village life for the first time, and and just get inspired by other people, so that when it was my turn, lights were on, time to go.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I know that waiting feeling because 200 back's usually the last day except at big meets.
Yeah.
So what was it like getting to represent the U.S. on such a global stage like the World University Games?
It was surreal. I think that it prepared me for everything that came after. Being able to know what a village felt like, for all those that really want to know, it's like summer camp. So once I started to think of it like that, it's still intimidating because it's, the next step is, worlds and, the Olympics, but it's still something that I carried with me. And I think that the experience at World U's gave me perspective. I think that I've seen a lot of swimmers kind of come into that village kind of lifestyle, and kind of freak out a little bit. And I learned to feed off of it. I think it was because that first time I waited the whole week and just kind of like absorbed everything. But yeah, it was surreal for the first time representing Team USA.
I bet. Could only imagine. Wish I got the chance to do that. So, do you believe competing in a global event like the World University Games made you a better competitor overall?
Oh, 100%. I think, again, that village life of like waking up, focused only on swimming, going to practice, but then like it almost feels like a bubble a little bit because but you're hyper focused on what you're there for and for that reason, and being kind of like blocked off from everyone else and the distractions that may come of it, like social media. I think it's a big way to kind of stay focused, and I performed my best at meets that were built like it. So yeah, World U's definitely set me up for success.
So, as a guy who went to NC State, you've been around the Triangle area. You only live, in Charlotte now, correct?
Yes.
So, big North Carolina guy. So, what is your thoughts on NC State and the other large universities around the Triangle area as hosts for the World University Games?
I think it's perfect. When I talk about that village feel of being able to kind of be immersed fully into the sport, the Triangle area is perfect for it. I mean, obviously you have all of the major universities there, and NC State is just constantly being built up and getting more beautiful by the day. So I think that having it in the Triangle areas, Raleigh specifically, would be amazing. Anything that you'd really want to do is a drive away, and there's the train there's ways of getting around. So I think that it would be a great infrastructure already in place to have something like a World University Games.
Yeah. All right. So, in your perspective, what kind of positive impact should we expect if the Triangle were to be selected for the 2027 World University Games?
If the Triangle area was actually able to get this bid, not only would it just be great for the city, but all eyes would, I think, really open up to the idea of, that area. I mean, beyond just basketball, I'm happy that we're talking about this. Good, because there's other great sports that are in the Triangle. Swimming being, personal favorite, but being able to have those kind of eyes, worldwide eyes in the triangle would really elevate, I would say, all of the facilities, elevate all of the, obviously, universities. And I think it would have a really big impact in the area. So I think it's great. Again, I would say that the biggest thing that I feel like when you have a bidding city, or Chapel Hill, Durham, and Raleigh do feel like completely different cities, but we're all a triangle. We're all a triangle. But like you're also getting different pieces of North Carolina when you're in that area and in different landscapes. So um, transportation is usually a big issue when you have a host city, and I just don't think you'll run into that there. I think you'll be able to get everything that you're looking for. I think the families will be happy. There's wonderful restaurants, things to see, activities to do. So yeah, I think it's a great area.
So, in your perspective, what makes for the best athlete experience at an event like the World University Games?
Ah, I mean, definitely bringing the fans out. I fed off of the fans, and there is very few places that you can say it's called the triangle for a reason. You're pulling from all of these different locations that are literally 30 minutes from each other. The fans are going to be the number one thing. We need people, butts in those seats, screaming loud, especially for Team USA, but we need people out there screaming. And you're going to get it in that area. I know that when I went to NC State games, or especially when it comes to football games, or even hockey, or even our basketball team, people come out. We know about the Dean Dome. That thing shakes when people are there. So I think that you're going to see a lot of people supporting this in a real way, and I think that that's very important for the athletes to feel that love when they're racing and they're performing. And again, like, I think it's important that we not only talk about the athletes. Yes, that's great, but another big piece of the athletes are, we're focused on our loved ones that are sitting in those stands and like their experience. So my mother traveled to Izmir, Turkey in 2005. And she was, she had a great time, but sometimes some of the food was hard to like find food spots. All the food that she did find, amazing. You're not going to find a problem with that in Raleigh. And I think it takes a little bit of a weight off of, it takes a weight off of the athlete to know that their families and loved ones are properly taken care of and having a great experience as well.
Yeah, I understand that. Family and the fans are always important.
Yes.
So, is there any advice you would give the North Carolina Big Committee that might help them be selected for the 2027 World University Games?
Absolutely. The only advice for the big community I would give, again, I keep harping on it, but transportation. I mean, any Olympics that I've gone to, it's always been something of a focus, a large focus, whether it be, London basically being New York, or Beijing. It's always, how do people get around? So I would say definitely focusing on that. I know we have the railroad system there. There's buses, and Wolf Line, and there's a lot of different ways to get people around. But I would focus on that. Again, I would focus on the hospitality of it. Where are people staying? Where can they go to eat? Do they get discounts on those places to eat? I think taking care of the families, taking care of the fans is a big piece. When it comes to the athletes, they're focused. They're really, focused on what they have to do. So I don't see the bidding committee having an issue there. I think it's the outdoor, or the outward facing things that they need to focus on.
Okay, that makes sense. So, last question
Yeah.
here. Is there any advice you would give a younger swimmer or younger athlete who is aspiring to represent their country at a large event like the World University Games?
Wow. As I'm talking about all of this glitz and glamour, and being able to see, this massive event take shape in the Triangle area, I think the number one thing is that as athletes start thinking about being able to represent their country stateside, um, you can't get caught up fully in the fanfare. You're still there for a job. you're still there to represent Team USA, and that's what we do. We go after medals. And so I think don't lose yourself in the pageantry of what is to come, knocking on some wood. But to stay focused and to do what they're there, and just to have fun. Honestly, have fun. You know what your goals are. I tell people to put it on the back of their phone so that they can, see it every day. I think it's important to live your goals, but to go out there and represent your country to your fullest. It's one of the greatest experiences and honors that I've ever had in my career. So,
All right. Well, thank you so much. Really
of course,
appreciate it.
happy to do it.